Well, that means I have to turn on my sound again.
Sound was being recorded from your phone rather than from this log. So if I go like this, is anybody on?
Oh, 3 people are watching. Oh, but it might be me. So 4, say hi, everybody. I can hear you beautifully.
I'm going to just talk really quiet.
Good. Okay. We're good. All right. Now you can mute, and we can actually get to work here.
Can I come say hi?
Yes, please come say
I
hi.
have to come say hi.
Wait, can I just quickly...
Thank you for your patience, y'all. It's holiday times around here, and we're running late. So thanks.
No, we're right there. Okay, so everyone, there were a few photographs that were published on Instagram and Facebook of us beginning our process of mapping out the year per the Martin and Sylvia story titled Map of the Year. Now, as we were doing that, we adjusted the whole process to accommodate our family. We are not homeschooling. We have a number, we have 2 teenagers, we have one that's about to travel, and we have a lot of different things that our family is organizing that's different than Martin and Sylvia's family, so we changed the process a bit. What I would like to present, because once those photographs were posted, a number of you reached out and asked us to give more directions. Exactly what was your process? How does this work? We want to do it as well. So this Facebook Live, the intention is to give you a foundation from which you can adjust the process to accommodate your family. So step 1, before we even get to the materials, etc., is to be clear about what you would like out of this process. Anything from being able to clarify and organize your intentions for the year, that's enough right there. That's kind of like what Martin and Sylvia and company were doing, is that they were gathering information from all 4 members of the family, getting it all down on paper, and setting an intention for the year. Now, how they actually organized and manifested and followed through, well, we don't know. That wasn't a part of the story. So that's the other side of this, and we'll be offering how the Sewell McCann family is actually putting that into practice and what our plan is for the map of the year. So do that first. What do you want out of this process? Is it just to plant an intentional seed for the rest of the year, or do you want to have a full plan for the year? That's good information. Then organize your materials. So this is butcher paper. This is for wrapping meat. It's sold we got ours at a craft store, so this is not waxed, it's just regular paper. It's just called that. You can do it also the natural colored craft paper, which is brown, works fine. I got the white so that we could see better. Covered the full table with the paper, and then got our colored pencils. I am using these Lyra pencils, which, and I guess there's also the fairy version, but no, they're all Lyra. Yep, the super fatty. They're fat, they're 3-sided. You'll find them often in Waldorf classrooms. I like them just because they're very bright in color. And of course you'll want pencil sharpeners nearby, and tape and scissors to get yourself all ready to go.
Can I throw a question real fast?
Question. Our first question.
The story that you're referencing with regards to Martin and Sylvia is called Map of the Year. So for anybody who wants to listen to Martin and Sylvia go through their process, how they discovered the process, you'll want to...
Map of the Year is a good place to start. And what's nice about that, and those of you who, the whole family is watching this right now, I'm going to tell you a little secret about the storytelling process, is that the nice thing about starting with a story, and in the case of Map of the Year, that particular story, is that the content and the pedagogy, the lesson that's in the story, goes straight to the listener's heart. And it begins to grow. The enthusiasm begins to grow, so that later, when someone in the family suggests, hey, we should do that, the other people who have listened to that story are already somewhat enrolled, because that seed that has been planted has developed into a genuine interest in doing that. So instead of coldly saying, hey, I want to do something for the new year, you actually are building on something that has personally grown and developed in the hearts of the listeners. So story first, intention second, organize your materials third, and then we can begin the process. Here's what we did in the Sewell McCann house that's a little different than the Martin and Sylvia house. We used the margins along the outside to do just some individuated brainstorming. So I'm choosing a color, and this color is going to be David Sewell McCann from this point forward, and it is of course violet. There are other colors here for my family. You will be playing the part of my family. So Lisbeth is, do we have enough people listening live?
There are 7 people.
Oh, we have a very big family. So I'm going to ask you, family, to invent things that answer the questions that I'll be asking you. You're going to put them into the Facebook Live comment section. Lisbeth will report them to me and I'll mark them down as if you're my child.
And may I recommend that they be children?
And yes, I want you to be as children so that we can, because a number of you are doing this with your children, and so you're going to play the part of children, I'm going to play the part of adult. That's what you meant,
yes,
right?
just so that you can model what it is to work with
So
different age children.
So let's start with me, purple, along the outside here. If I go over here, can you still see me?
Hold on just a second. There's a lag
There's
in
a
the
lag,
video.
so I'm gonna
No,
go
probably
right-
not. You can go probably about to where your elbow is.
How am I right here?
Well, I can't see because there's a lag. I'm still waiting.
I haven't moved much.
You're going to go where your elbow is that I can see
Okay,
from
so
the
I'll just stay right here and I'm going to lean.
Okay, they won't be able to see your hand, but that's fine.
That's fine. Okay, so I'll go right here.
Great.
Okay, so along the edge, right here, I am going to list out all the things, the hopes, the dreams, the intentions, the desires, the developments, the things that I want for myself individually, as well as for my family, but from my perspective, just listing it all out. So, I am wanting to, now of course I can't think of anything that I want to do. I'm going to be doing a fair amount of traveling. I'm going to be traveling around the country, speaking and offering workshops on storytelling. Very excited about that. I would like to go to Iceland. I would like to go to Italy. Traveling and speaking in workshops is around the United States and Canada and Mexico predominantly, but I'm certainly open to other places as well. And I would like to do a number of those travels with the family, so it's not 100% work. I would like to learn the ukulele. That is an intention that has lasted for about a decade now. I would like to
What else do you want to learn?
read a book a month. I would like to do a full-on the celery thing.
Oh yeah, celery juice.
Celery juice cleanse. Some of you are getting very excited about that right now. Just you can research that on your own. Great. And I need, my car is about to totally break down, so I have to think about a car. All right, so that's enough to start with. Question to you, my children. The first child is going to be in green. I would like to hear from you things that you would like to learn, places that you would like to go, how you would like to spend your summer vacation, how you would like to spend your other vacations.
What you'd like to achieve.
What you'd like to achieve this year, something that's important to you. Bring on the notions. You're playing a part. You can answer them authentically for yourself, but I want children-y type things.
So now we're going to have a bit of a delay. So why don't we talk about other categories that we've had on our maps before, outside of travel, education,
sports,
music,
day trips, relationships, friendships that you want to develop,
personal growth. Okay, we've got our first answer.
Okay, this is in green. This is our green child.
Yes, Christy, learn Japanese.
Learn Japanese. Yes, she really does want to learn Japanese. This green child does.
Okay.
Okay, more. Green child.
I'm waiting. Let's see. Okay, Elizabeth says, take our dog on a train ride with us. That's fun.
Dog on a train ride.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Okay, what else does Green want?
Hey, Elizabeth, do you know where you want to go?
Yeah, you can give me more details about that too.
Okay, Christy, who's in green, I believe. Are we all the same child?
All the
Christy
same child.
says, have a good time. Hope to have a good time with my family.
Good time, family time.
Lisa wants to go to Paris.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to start another child, which is Red Child.
Okay, so
And say that
Elizabeth and
Red Child
Christy
wants
are
to
one
go.
child. Lisa wants to go to Paris. Nicole says...
I'm dividing up by content, not by people that are offering. So.
Okay. Nicole says go to Tahoe and go pan for gold in Coloma.
All right, I'm going to go Blue Child. Pan for gold.
Yeah. And then when you're ready for the next,
Okay,
Lindsay says Point Ballet.
that's go to Paris. Red
Yeah.
Child.
Okay.
Point Ballet.
Caitlin says learn more about science, or this is Fiona would like to learn more about science and would like to travel to New York.
Let's give that to Blue. Science. Travel to New York. Okay.
Okay. Any other ones?
More stuff.
Play basketball better.
Basketball better goes to Green.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. This is fun.
No, this is fun. One moment.
You know what? I'm going to do a little yoga for mine.
Study astronomy.
That's going to go over to Blue.
Ooh, get a pet.
Nice. Red gets the pet.
Mm-hmm.
Get a new pet because we're all the same family. We clearly have a dog.
Oh yeah, because we're taking our dog on our train with us.
No, we would like that.
Yes! We're so exciting. Okay. Oh, and that, yeah.
Probably enough, but this is fun. I want a little bit more.
Okay, a few more, please. Oh, you have 12 watching now. 14 watching now, beg your pardon. This is great. So just to reiterate, once you reiterate
Yes.
what we're doing right
So
now.
reiterating, you are my children. I have written down my intentions for the year. You are different children. I have a green child, a blue child, and a red child. And so 3 different personalities, 3 different intentions, things that they want to learn. Green so far wants to learn Japanese, dog on a train ride, just generally good time with the family this year and get better at basketball. Red wants to go to Paris, learn point ballet, and get a new pet. Blue wants to pan for gold, wants to do more science-y things, travel to New York City, right? Or
Yep.
New York State, and learn astronomy.
Okay,
So
ready for some
give me more information, yes.
Have some dance time, quiet time, and play with grandparents.
Okay, I'm doing that to red, dance time. You know what, actually, dance time's going over to green, and I'll demonstrate why. Grandparents,
Okay.
okay.
Memorize times table.
Memorize times table goes to red.
Mm-hmm. And write a comic book.
Ooh, who's that? I think that's red too. Good, yes, and for homeschool families, like what things do you want to learn? So we've got science, we've got times table, right?
Okay. And,
Right.
And that, yeah.
That's
oh,
fine.
wait, one more.
Yep.
Find a new favorite flavor of ice cream.
Like that, blue.
And hike around waterfalls. Oh, these are all so good. We can add some more, but as these are coming in,
And
we can
hike what?
around waterfalls. And you can start the mapping process and let folks add more.
Okay, so step 2. We have data. We have lots of points of information, and this is not it. These are all going to sprout and blossom into further information, more information, qualified information, and new ideas. This is a starting place right here for us to then start to create the map. And this is where it resembles more Martin and Sylvia, because, I'm going to put the group of colors all together, because we'll start to use those circles that are referred to in the story, and I've given myself another color, brown, which has to do with the connectiveness between these things. So for those of you who are familiar with our How to Be Super summer camp, this was a big part of it. We developed connections between all the campers and the curricula, as well as with the teachers and the trainers. Every time we met, we would talk about things that we had in common, and that became a fuel. So instead of focusing on the differences, you find the commonalities. And the commonalities are often bigger and more involved than the specifics of Paris, New York, and, say, Japan. It's more travel is the thing that connects all of those. So since we have a number of we could go with travel, but I'm inclined to actually go with learning.
And you're finding the connection, why? Same, because we were talking about this morning.
Because the connection is, it goes straight to the part of our personality and our feelings that are enthusiastic. And if you're in that place of enthusiasm and optimism and excitement, more doors open and you find even more connections, and then suddenly people are all agreeing around something. If you're looking for those things that you have in common, the event becomes more joyful and not about me over you, you over me, who's going to win, which one gets first, all of that. That can happen a little bit later. For this first map, it's all enthusiasm.
Thank you. Yep.
All right, so I'm going to make a little bit more room here. I'm probably off screen with my hand. I've got my brown connective color ready to go. So I am going to also have a title color. Let's do like an orange.
I can see all the way to that metal container. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, not anymore. Actually, you moved it. Sorry, I'm realizing you moved it.
Well, here we
But
go.
I can't.
This is what working with people, you know. Right.
Well, it lags too
Okay.
great.
So I'm going to start an area right here, and let's call it learning. This will happen, so that's why you have your.
And again, you
No, and I'm even going to change now.
I know we have all the same color of those.
Red I've got going. Let's do this pinky color here.
Nice.
Learning. Now, in the color of the individuals, I'm going to put down all the stuff that is learning. So, ukulele.
Are you putting it in the color of the person, or are you putting it...
Color of the person.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yoga. We'll start with that. My green child, Japanese. Basketball. All right. And actually dancing. My red child, point ballet.
And this is
Times
where,
tables.
like in the story, you're creating this island of...
Yes, this is kind of the circle that's happening here.
on this map.
And my blue child, science and astronomy. Okay, at this point, because you are not actually right here with me, what will likely happen is as you write that down, in this area, the children will feel that you are making a commitment and they will suddenly have multiple new ideas. Fine. Add them all right here. Suddenly your children are yelling out, well, actually, I want to learn astrology too, and and all of this new stuff will be here. And that will again happen when we go into the next step, which is finding the connections. There is dancing, I'm circling, and point ballet. I'm going to connect those two with the brown, and here's my learning circle. And I've got this filled with numbers. I'm going outside the learning circle, and there is dance that is in common with at least two members of the family. There is, let's say for instance, when I wrote down basketball, some of the other children started piping in and saying, actually, I'd like to learn basketball too. Or someone said, I would like to learn tennis. And then tennis is added too. So we start to, there's two people who want tennis outside. And there is basketball and basketball connected outside. Okay, see? We have created a community of ideas that have connections right there. What might happen as it seems like the things that are outside the circle are taking priority is that someone will say, well, what about Japanese? Are we not going to do Japanese because it's outside? That would be when you would clarify, no, let's assume that all of these things are going to happen. We're just finding the things that connect. Because when we're making a map, all those land masses are connected by water, and we're establishing what's the water that's in between each of these. So then we might start another island. Any clarifying questions at this point?
I don't, but you can put to your crew here, ask them.
I'm asking you.
Any clarifying questions?
Clarifying questions at this starting point before we start another island and see what happens in the waters between them?
You're going to have a delay here again, so.
Yeah, I'm taking advantage of that delay. Take a little break.
Which category are we going to do next?
Well, I don't want to confuse anybody just yet.
Okay.
Let's enjoy the silence.
Okay.
And see if there's any clarifying questions before we go into next.
Okay. When you're done, can we see an overhead of the map? Sure, I can pick up the phone and show you, for sure. What's the puppy's name? Oh, that's Olive!
Oh, has she been wandering about?
She's under the table.
Okay. You can see?
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's three puppies that may be
Great job,
wandering.
says
Okay,
Lizzie.
great. All right, so let's go on to travel. We have Iceland. Before I even start writing the next one, Blue asks, where's Iceland? And I answer, Iceland is in this place. Why do you want to go there? Well, they have a very rich fairy life, and that's really interesting to me. Ooh, I want to go there too. Oh, really? Okay, well, I'll put you in blue as well. That can happen during this process.
Happened to us yesterday.
Right.
This is what happened with our kids.
Italy. Green wants... Okay, Green Child, I have a question for you. I know that you want to learn Japanese, and you have talked about going to Japan in the past. Is that something that you actually want to do this year? Oh, you do. I didn't wait to...
Oh, for the answer.
I'm just going to assume, because they will say yes.
Okay.
Why would you say no?
Okay.
Japan. And then at the moment I write down Japan, Red says, I don't want to go to Japan. And then I say, oh, I know that. We're just getting down all the different places that everybody in the family wants, and then we'll see what is connective. And Paris is where Red wants to go, not to Japan. And I forget where Blue wants to pan for gold.
Well, I saw, it was Tahoe, and then Pan for Gold in Coloma, Coloma. I don't know that place.
Okay. And then Green says, you just are putting that down because you read a book about that.
It's California.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Blue says, yeah, but I want to try it. And then I say, well, Coloma is actually very close to someplace. I don't know.
Let's say San Francisco. I don't
Let's
really
say
know.
it's close to, because it's the 49ers went there. Let's say it's fairly close to San Francisco. And Green, Red, I remember you wanting to go to the Ballet of San Francisco. Oh, I really want to go there. Oh, well, let me mark that down, that you want to go to San Francisco. See what's happening?
It's Sacramento.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was Sacramento, but there's a ballet in San Francisco, so we're just going to do that for now.
Okay. There's Sacramento, she said, yeah.
Yep, I could feel that it was. And, okay, so we get a whole bunch down there. You know that it's going to be much more full than you did in your initial process because this is a living process. It's going to keep growing. And we make, there's 2 Icelands. We're going to put that outside here. Iceland. And we have, I'm going to circle Coloma and San Francisco, because they're both in California. Okay, and at this point, Green says, wait a minute, my favorite basketball, the Golden State Warriors, they're from that area. Do you think we could go to a basketball game? And I say, well, I mean, we're dreaming right now, so I don't see why not. I want to go to California too. Basketball, California, they're in the waters together. So now I'm going to take basketball and connect it with California because of the Golden State Warriors. Oh, that'll be so much fun. We could pan for gold, and we could go to the ballet, and we could go to the Golden State Warriors. And I say, well, at this point, we're just dreaming for the year. This isn't the making plans section. We're just opening up to all possibilities. But this is fun, isn't it? Yes! Green, red, and blue all say. So enthusiasm is high. Let's go on. And then you can continue on to another island, and begin to make connections. So,
and then
grandparents.
And where do you find, because we're a half hour in, so
I think that's kind of the basis right
there.
there.
But where do you land with this? How do you end with this part of the process?
Right.
And then how do you take it, should you want to something
into
more
an
practical?
action plan.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did, after we have just done all sorts of circles and we have things connected with other things, and get creative with this. Here's dance. What sorts of things can it connect with, not only in the waters, but inside the other sections right there?
Well, there's San
Dance
Francisco.
with San Francisco. Look at all that is connecting in with California. California is gaining in currency right now with the possibility for a trip. Tennis may be connected to grandparents, may be connected to one of them plays the ukulele. I didn't know that. Boy, I could work with grandpa, your mom's dad, to learn more about ukulele, etc. It's just a conversation that widens. That might be enough. But if you want to land with a plan, what I would recommend is down below, perhaps in yet another color, which I want to try it with this nice turquoisey blue, is I put J for January, F for February, M for March, A, M, J, J, A, S, O, N, D. And I'm going to do, and maybe you do it at the top or over to the side or however you want to organize it, I'm going to start to see where in the year some of these might happen. Dance class for Point Ballet starts right in January. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm going to put ballet. Great. And astronomy class is just, now that I've looked into it, is just a after school for 2 weeks in March, astronomy. All right, so when I start to plan travel, probably going to avoid the ones in which have local classes that we want to do, so I might steer towards summertime. And let's just for now play out the fact that it might be in summertime. Well, let's actually look at the basketball schedule and see when they're all playing. Can we get a game in there, or do we need to push it later in the year? Do we need to push it earlier in the year to catch the basketball? When does the ballet perform? These are all great questions as we're starting to organize the year. Tennis season, basketball season, let's see, hikes around waterfalls. If, say, we're going to New York and we want to maybe take one of those waterfalls of New York City, you know those? They're very famous.
Yeah.
Right outside of New York City in the Hudson Valley. We don't want to do that in the middle of the winter. We want to do that where it's warmer. So maybe our New York City trip is going to be in the fall when it's beautiful and the leaves are changing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Let's do it in September. New York City. etc. So I think you get the idea of how you are starting with lists, organizing them in groups, and it's interactive, and you're building and creating a garden of information, and then we're kind of returning back to lists in time.
Yeah, and let's see if there are any questions.
Yes, Claire, any
there's
further
a thank
questions?
you, Happy New Year, and I love this. Here's a question that I would have. How do you, I'm going to take an example from our family. When we did travel, there were like 6 different places, 7 even, between the 4 of us that everybody wanted to go. Mm-hmm. How do you recommend prioritizing that?
Right.
Like, I know as an adult what my priorities are, and I also know as an adult what the budget likely is, but I also want to honor the impulses and excitement of everybody else. So let's
start to organize it down here along the bottom. Let's just put it in the year and see where it possibly is. And what may happen is that the best time to visit one place turns out that it overlaps with school, and then through the course of that conversation, people start saying, well, that's going to be a lot for that month. Maybe what we want to do is more like this. That's where, the adults just be straight about the whole thing. Like, there are some complications that come along with it. There's always complications, cost, schedule, all of those things. But make a clear transition from this fun, enthusiastic, all things are possible phase. And then once we go over to this, you want to give them the heads up, okay, we're going to get more practical now. And things will not quite all things will not seem possible once we get practical. It's not no time yet. It's not NO time yet. It's just we're getting more grounded in what could really happen.
Okay. Ready for next question?
Ready.
Do you reflect on previous years before starting a new year?
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah.
We haven't, because we tend to always be moving forward.
No, we should have done that. But the week is a really nice picture of how you can expand it out to a full year. That you really do, in a lot of cultures, this moon day, Monday, and in business life, it's a reflective day. It's what happened last week so that we can tee ourselves up for the week ahead. And it's followed by the most active day of the week, Tuesday. But that's fueled by the fact that you have taken inventory of what has happened, what do you have right now, what's behind us.
Okay, cool. Do we post our map so we can refer to it throughout the year?
I think that is a part of the process. If you want an action plan,
and if you have space,
if you have space, this can all be squeezed down on a smaller sheet of paper too. I just like working big. But if your intention is just to set an intention for the year, here you have it. You can look back at it, or you can set fire to it and
or
say
you could probably condense it onto a piece of.
Condense it. There's a lot of different. It depends on where you want this to go. But if you want this to lead to actually fulfilling all these things in an organized fashion, maybe you come back a few weeks later, you look at it again, and do it a second time.
Yeah.
Review, edit.
Okay. We have about 1 more minute because of our time today.
Yep.
But quickly, so Stephanie asks, you say it's a working document. Assume you mean throughout the year. Do you hang up the map and revisit it, or what is the end product? And I think that's person to person, right?
Yep. This needs to be adapted for your family. So this may be on a big blackboard in the learning room or what have you, or folded up and brought out from time to time. It's whatever works best for you.
Elizabeth asks, when we write it down, are we committed to the dream of it, or are we committing to actually doing everything this year? That was one of the questions I was talking about this morning with him. Because it can be dangerous. Like the child says, we want to travel the world in a boat.
Absolutely. So your map of the year needs to start big. And it's not that you're saying no to the activity. It's just it might fit better in 2 years, not this year. You may find through the organization of this that some things that you really, really want are going to take precedent over the grand world tour. And the world tour, we're going to put that off to the side in a thing of things that we want to do sometime in the future, but maybe not this year.
Okay, and those are all the questions we have.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a good start.
Good start. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Good luck.
And if you have any future questions, feel free to post them here or
I'd love to see people's maps too.
Yeah,
For those
really.
of you who are comfortable on Instagram, maybe just tag us. What would be the tag?
Well, just at Sparkle Stories.
Okay.
Oh, I see. But if
Do you
you
want
made
a
a
hashtag? Map of the year?
Map of the year.
Hashtag map of the year.
Yeah, cool.
We'll look forward to seeing those.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, gang.
Bye. I gotta go actually. Oh no, we gotta show the map. We gotta show the map.
Oh yeah, the map.
Okay, hold on. Here it comes. This is gonna be a little awkward. Sorry. Here we go.
You gotta come on this side.
I'm
though.
coming. I'm coming. So can you see? Here we go. Here's how David did the colorful list. I'll zoom in slowly so you can see how he wrote down everybody. Oh, look at you. You even did it readable. Well done. That's everybody in their different colors. And then here's the map itself. Can you see how he's taken what was in the list on the right and put it in the circle? There you go.
And we've got the year.
And then we've got the year on the bottom, but I can't get that quite so well.
Not so well.
Okay, here we go.
All right. Bye, gang. Have fun.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Okay. Thank you. Well done.
Sometimes you have to press it twice, though. Is it really
Ending
full
my
now?
video, it said.
Okay. Time is it?
Let me go shut off Angus's. It's time for you to get ready to quickly go.